Hey, it's Stu Radio on the radio, no radio. On today's topic, we're going to be talking about dating and using people in relationships. All right, so this past weekend, I was talking to one of the teenagers I mentor, and he was telling me how he and some of his females that he talked to, notice I say females, his intentions were to see how much he can get from them. I was thinking at this time and age, why how'd you get to a position where you're trying to figure out how to use another person? And the way he was telling me, and I listen to Kodak Black, I listen to Future, I listen to other stuff, whatever music he's listening to, this is all the stuff he's telling me, and I'm listening. So he plays some of the songs, and in the songs, the lyrics is talking about, yeah, I never talk to a B, blah 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 blah. I don't need nothing except my money. It's crazy if you listen to the lyrics and how they talk about how they don't need females, and it's very degrading. And for the most part, music has always had its generational periods where they degrade females in different areas. But the part that I want to touch on is how he feels that he needs to date several females so he can get what he wants to from them. He wants to use each individual female. Now he's not the only person, but the mindset of where this comes from stems from a younger age, right? So as I'm talking to him, I'm relaying to him. I'm saying, look, man, you shouldn't be trying to date people so you can see what you want to get from them. So I asked, what do you want from them? It came to my mind that he doesn't even. It's not even he just wants sex. It has some of the stuff that he wanted from them had nothing to do with sex. He wanted money. He wanted favor. He wanted different benefits like where they worked at and stuff like that. And I'm guilty of doing such things like this in my past as well. So I'm speaking to him and I'm saying, well, where did you get this mindset from? He's, oh man, all the people at school do it. What? What you mean all the people at school do it? He said that. I was like, come on, man. Right? So I'm here today to talk about people using people in relationships. How does one go about using another individual and why? Now, it's two ways we could look at this, and I only want to touch on a little bit of both sides. So, if you're a person being used in a relationship, it's usually because somebody's lying to you, or um, you know that they're using you, and you don't want to do anything to stop it. But it really stems from insecurities and self confidence and self image and different things that along those lines. So I just want to say that's on that piece. And then a person using a person, people have been people for generations. We're consumers. We're self absorbed. We care only about ourselves for the most part. It takes a strong individual to care about another without having negative or ill will intentions outside of being family or friends, right? Just to be a people person to love the community or the individual. So I just want to talk about a little bit of um, my opinion on how I feel like a relationship should be ran so that two people aren't using on each other. So he tells me, oh, well, I'm only using them because, and I don't agree with the whatever he said, but he said, I'm only using them because that's what you're supposed to do. I've never heard this answer before. I read this book called Five Love Languages, and it showed me how to, for the most part, woo a female. And you can use this book for good or for evil. I chose to use it for both. Um, I would say pre-relationship dating, I used it for evil. As far as using it to get girls' numbers, using it to get girls open to me, using it to get girls, just figuring out who they were and trying to get inside their mind. And then after I started dating and started caring and stuff, and actually the most previously using it in this relationship that I'm currently in, with my wife Candice, I've been using the five love languages to enhance it. So five love languages can either destroy or enhance a relationship based on how you want to use it. But I want to talk more so about the intentions, right? I told him, he said, what are you supposed to do? Now, when you're talking to a female, right? Initially, well, I'm speaking from a guy's perspective. Initially, when you're in a relationship and you're talking to somebody, you're there for your intentions, right? Being there for your intentions at the beginning, you don't really care what the other person's intentions are. Now, is that a good thing or a right thing to do? My opinion is not, but that's what most people do when they get into a relationship. They care about their intentions. They care about what can I get from this relationship. How can this relationship make me better? How can this relationship? What can How can I benefit from this relationship? Right. I'm here to tell you that if you take the time to figure out what the other person want and or needs in a person in a relationship, that'll take you 10,000 times farther than if you worry about what you want in a relationship. And that's what happens 9 out of 10 times in these relationships where people get together, and the statistics is all wrong, is in my opinion. Um, when people get together, right, and they start dating each other, they start creating these relationships, and they start being girlfriend and boyfriend. They're not doing it for the other person. They're doing it for themselves, and they keep it for themselves so long that when stuff doesn't go their way, they want to just vamoose, disappear, poof, be gone, puff the magic dragon, whatever you want to do, Alakazam, and they just want to disappear. You can't get into a situation, a situationship. I guess that's what young people are calling it, right? And stay there. You gotta be with somebody you want to be with, right? Initially for yourself, but over time, you should take the time to learn who the person you're talking to is, so that you don't get into these relationships where you find out that one person is not the person you really wanted them to be, um, or even worse, you're very passive because you just want to fulfill your needs initially, and you don't want to hurt their feelings. You don't want to get left. You don't want to say anything to make them mad, and you're holding back who you really are. And then when you finally get the courage to, or you get into a position where you have to tell them who you are, they don't know they don't know what they're hearing, and they're like, oh, this is not you. Oh, you changed. You didn't change. This is how you always been. It's just that you never took the time and courage to actually put your foot out there and get things done the way it needs to get done. So, today's talk, like, share, comment, love, hate. Let me know what you think. Add whatever, opinion you have in there. Stu Radio, on the radio, no radio. Next week we're gonna be talking about. We're gonna have a special guest actually from my son. He's up here now for spring break, so